Forward and backward don't work. I have to do Wasta. Boo! Let me out of here! It's the 1950s and they think I'm gay. What is this guy, Chris Chan? Look at his drawings. Or am I a little... I'm not a wee babarino. That was a grown man's voice. It was a man's voice. It's like Portal, but with dreams. Beep, 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 beep. Did the stream break? Cat, you fucked up my... I can't see what I'm looking at now. Your head hit the button. Oh, thank God, I just found my 1 terabyte memory card. I thought that was lost forever. I just about shit my pants yesterday because I lost the 1 terabyte card. It has all my Steam Deck games on it. I'm going to put this somewhere safe. These little ass micro SD cards are so easy to lose. They're the perfectly losable size.
Take this wrench out of my dream.
See?
I really am going crazy.
Man's voice. So explain why... Explain. He sounds like 30s, 40s. Explain these drawings. Steam controller works partially. It's really weird. Steam controller, I can strafe side to side. I can't move forward. I can look around. I can jump. I can click on things. I cannot move forward or backwards. That's really weird that it would be that way. It wasn't that way in the dream. In the dream I could control the fish up and down too. What the fuck was that lighting? It gets darker when you're in a different area. Look at that. It's like Rise of the Triad lighting. Where it just makes the screen lighter or darker depending on what sector you're in. That reminds me of how hype I am for...
If I can take things out of my dreams, maybe I can bring things back in with me. Worth a shot.
Oh, boo. 500 fucking smackaroonies. Is there anything really precious on there? $500 dues. Crikey. I can't use the flashlight outside of my dream, apparently. I've had dreams like this, though, where I was in a dream within a dream and I didn't know it. So I was really shocked when I brought items out of a dream with me. It was a remote control. I wrote a story about it, where I had a special remote controller that could control the flow of time inside of a dream. And I took it out of the dream with me. I was like, that's not possible. I must still be dreaming, and I was. Is this just fucking American Humaniki? It might be. That reminds me, I'm also looking forward to playing Humaniki again. Ooh, baby. Game froze. I've got a fish light. It's like a fleshlight, but you don't fuck it. I mean, actually, maybe... No, I'm not going to finish that thought. No, this reminds me of is that level from Earthworm Jim 2, where you're a blind cave salamander. Go Fishlight! Unstoppable cyborg of fish and flashlight combine to fuse their powers to one. Greatest hero of a generation, Fishlight is the champion of children everywhere. Even though he's not got underwear. Fishlight! All the powers of fish and flashlight unite tonight. 'Cause your asshole is tight. See, now up and down works, actually. Why does up and down work now? I like the concept of this game a lot. I don't know about the implementation. This feels weirdly like a Donkey Kong Country level, too. I need some music. Has aquatic ambience vibes. Don't you shine it at me, Fishlight. There's your answer, Fishbulb. This is Fishbulb from Simpsons. Simpson. Barrett Simpson. Any minute now. Streaming is one of those things you think you can do for free, but really it requires constant influx of money for games and hardware. You can kind of string things along, especially if you like horror jank. And horror jank is my favorite. I don't get as much enjoyment out of actual good games as I get out of shitty horror games, because there's something really funny and charming about a game that tries to scare you but is really low budget. It's like if you watched Friday the 13th and all the build-up was for the eventual payoff to be that instead of Freddy Krueger, you just get some guy covered in a sheet with eye holes in it. Like, boogity boogity boo! And that was just all you got. When something tries to scare you and plays it totally serious and fails, it's just fucking delightful. Either I'm crazy or I have a superpower. Could I not use my flashlight here? Cool Unreal Engine shiny vents. Fucking Unreal Engine. It's supposed to be the superior engine. I guess maybe it is in the hands of professionals. It really is not in anyone else's hands. In amateur hands, Unreal Engine is a weapon forged to commit crimes against the human eyeballs. I think part of it is that it's got a built-in casual filter for devs, where by default every material is shiny. So if they just don't know how to change the default material, then everything stays shiny. And it gives away that it was made by monkeys. Not to besmirch the good name of monkeys. Monkeys got America through some hard times. Those funny little fellows. Can I open this? I can't. This seems promising, actually. The gameplay loop of going back and forth between a dream and waking reality is really cool. It just
Montauk. My dad used to take me fishing there when I was a kid.
Montauk, huh? I'm familiar with the conspiracy theories, actually. Oh, there it is, Montauk. That's where the Montauk monster was found, wasn't it? Which turned out to just be like a decomposed raccoon, supposedly. You ever imagine eating the Montauk monster's flesh? Like it's soft, pale, rubbery, decomposed flesh. Like, and it's gross and it makes you gag, but you can't stop imagining it. It's like the Call of the Void, or being unable to look away from a car crash. I'm gonna focus on my cat instead. Sleepy little Torb, you are just a little dude. You are very cute, you put me in a happy mood. Sleepy little Torb. You are sleeping on my desk, blocking out my view. You're just a sleepy little dude in your fuzzy little head. I wish you would sleep in your little cat bed. I made her the most luxurious cat bed any cat has ever had. And she won't use it. It's electrically heated and it's up on a shelf. It should be the ideal cat bed. But she shuns it. She shuns it. She's like, no, this is not good enough for my purposes. And I won't explain why. Does not sleep on luxury cat bed, will not elaborate. I'm suspicious that it may be a consequence of the material, that it's like scratchy or something, that like it's a texture issue. In which case, if I replace the pad with a different pad, then again, it also probably smells like Gremlin because it's right in the spot where Gremlin used to sleep. I gotta say, this might be the best fish-based exploration-centric horror game I've ever played. I can't think of a lot of games where you're a fish. Echo the Dolphin doesn't count because that's a marine mammal. It's like that Mario 64 level where you're in a water-filled window box in the sky. I didn't imagine that, did I? That was a real level. Oh, hey, it did open. This part is really... It's also ultra-wide, by the way. It's automatically ultra-wide. I gotta give it props for that. Oh, you know what this is? It's a sunken ship. I think, maybe. You know, I wonder if you could make an underwater habitat out of wood. Because the earliest submarine was basically just a watertight barrel. I've seen submersibles built by hobbyists that are positive pressure that were made out of wood, constructed the same way you construct a ship or a boat. So it seems possible on paper to make an underwater habitat that's basically just a big barrel with windows and weighted down. That'd make a fun story about medieval rapture, where like a crazy king has a vision of an underwater castle and commissions his inventor to make it real no matter what. But they don't have steam power to run the pumps, so his air pump is just slaves, like rotating, like in Conan the Barbarian. It's just a slave wheel.
I'm afraid I have some bad news to tell you. You're still dreaming. In fact, you were never actually awake. But I needed you to believe that you were. Taking things in and out of dreams. Oh, preposterous. I just needed you to dig deeper. I needed you to remember.
Who dat?
I remember.
Look at his dumpy. Time to paddle the cato. Cato the cato. I'm
Patient
tempting
number
fate here.
3301881 killed his father on a fishing trip when he was only 12 years old. Our dream therapy, however, proved successful in resurfacing the targeted memory.
Little Tom.
And now at last, we have the confession we've been waiting for all this time.
Oh, sinister, sinister. That's pretty cool. Like, the only issue is the implementation, but this is like a free game, so... I want to say, you could stretch that out to a couple different levels, where he escapes the hospital, but continues to move in between dream space and reality. Until it turns out that he never really escaped the hospital. You could stretch that out easily. That could still be the big aha at the end. This could be a full game, I think. It's just light world, dark world mechanics. Little baby cat, you're a little baby cat. With pointy, flappy little ears. That's it for sleep. Now we have to find the Onanist. If you don't know what the Onanist means, you should definitely Google it. Go Google Onanism right now. It's a really exciting new ideology. Crispin. Recently I woke from... Oh, that hurts my ears so bad. Strange dream with a terrible itch on my forearm. I've been marked with a constellation of cruel scarlet sores. The sores form a symbol of some sort. I don't know its meaning, but I get the feeling it's profound and dire. Do you sense the great ancestors? They are timeless, immutable, and invisible. Our planet is made up of their bones and skulls. Watch for doors marked with white crosses. These have been touched by the presence of ancestors. Cool. Bro. Now, I remember quitting this one and never finishing it. I'd like to finish it this time. I don't know if that's going to be possible. I also remember this being really esoteric and difficult to understand. If this is the game I'm thinking of, it might not be. Like, I remember a game with an aesthetic almost identical to this, where you collect VHS tapes. This might not be the same one. That one had, like, a courtyard. I guess we'll see. It's got that same aesthetic, though, as the The game where you throw water bottles full of blood at the wall. Remember that? This looks like it's the same world. Nah, the advent of the leper star approaches. Annihilation walks the earth. Rejoice. That doesn't seem positive to me. That doesn't seem wholesome or uplifting. Why should I rejoice? Who's gonna make me? You? Big boy? You gonna come and make me rejoice? I think my goal should be to finish the games I never finished before. This will probably be the last one tonight because we only have 30 minutes left. A lot of time tonight was just wasted on games that didn't work properly. There's a run button. Cool. Run, boy, run. This world is not meant for you. Run, boy, run. They're trying to catch you. Run, boy, run. They're gonna fuck your ass if they catch you. Run, boy, run. Or unless you're into that, I don't know. Maybe. The men of the edge lave their bodies with ashes to bring themselves closer to the dead. Only the dead are without shame. We are born into ineffable mortification. I don't know about that, bro. That's one of many philosophies. Another philosophy says that you should not kill the cringe in you, but the you which cringes. I imagine it in a future where the Soviet Russia never fell. This is the kind of game you play on your Soviet game console. It's like Eastern European Zelda. Or Skyrim, I guess. Like Babdi. Remember Babdi? I remember. And Pepperidge Farm members too. I'm sorry. There's really no good reason for me. I should be ashamed. I should be. But that's the trick though, I'm not. That's the hell of it. That's the thing. My eyes sting from the sweat of my febrile skin. This last time you slept, I can't remember. Need something to calm my nerves. Okay, I need to give him like drugs or some shit. He's by the, whatever that is. He's also by, I believe, yeah, he's by the spire. I need to get him an item. No? Why is it off the ground like that? There's an interior for sure. When the great vidiation came, we turned to machine-brained doctors for succor, but they told us nothing useful. Our eyes fell upon a throne of dirt. The last pure man crushed our hearts under his boots. What does it mean? What does any of that mean? I don't have the key I need. Is this just gonna be a fucking key hunt? Just a fancy Doom level, basically? Pyramid sees all. The pyramid. What happened here? The leper star. Something about leper star. Leopard star. Cool fucking default height map hills in the distance, my guy. Looks like the background of a art house movie. Do I go to the dome? Of course I go to the dome. What a foolish question. How you guys like the cat cam? Is that a meaningful addition to the stream? How much value does that add? I feel like that gives more than one thing to look at, and everybody likes to see a cute cat sleeping. Nobody more than I do, though. That's my cat there. It's my little Batman with the pointy ears. Little flippity flappity ears. Required note. We have a note, so we just need to give a note to a guy. I don't know which guy, though. This is like an item quest thing. Where you just have to do trial and error. Not him. For fuck's sake. If I memorize all the locations, this will go faster. Nope. I just remember quitting this because it was incredibly dull and obtuse. I know people like that. If there was just a video game of depression, this actually that'd be Depression Quest. Never mind. Aha! I can enter here. This is the first one I've been able to enter. This feels like a goddamn Gmod map. It's vast and empty. Feed me to the dark-born worm. This gaze livid sign. Totality of unhealthy obsessions. Crawling God whispers tidings in my ear. Abyssal Christ. 100 mires of filth, days of punishment. The star awaits. I've seen you in visions. The Saborum is the key of sorts. Been touched by the great demon, and demons always return to the scene of their crimes. Take it, and may the body of the crawling God burn the earth clean. Okay. Polluted chlorium. Is that what that one guy needed? There you go. It could have been easier. I like the vibe of this game. I don't like the game. It's not a good game. It's way too big. There's way too little to do. Way too little's going on. It's very esoteric. There we go. This guy. I have a chalice. What's this lad about? I imagine you've heard varying accounts of what happened here. In truth, it was an epidemic, a plague of nomophagia. The infected ran out of human laws to eat. Insatiable hunger caused them to seek laws of the divine, which needless to say resulted in obliteration. Calling on life as a treatment of illness. Am I depriving my patients of a gift? If and fever are all connected, dream, waking, past, present, and future. What if sickness is God's way of revealing its true nature? Interesting. Fever dreams as visions from God. I think that's kind of a time-honored concept. I've had some really weird fever dreams. I wrote The Resurrection War after a fever dream. About World War One, fought by Frankensteinian resurrected corpses with Tesla-punk weapons. And also that dream I had where there's like a factory for producing radio soldiers. Like the soldiers had radio backpacks and wires going to sockets on their head. It was like World War II. Or at least, I don't know if it was during World War II, but it was all World War II technology. There were like troop carrier trucks I recognized from World War II in Vietnam, parked everywhere outside under an overcast sky. And it was muddy, but it was like a brown, hazy weather, and clouds obscuring the sun. And there were helicopters and jets parked outside, and trucks and tanks. And I hid among them, and I snuck inside of the facility, which is like a brick base. And inside I found an assembly line where unconscious humans were fitted with gas masks that were bolted into their skull so they could not take it off. And a helmet they couldn't take off because they weren't expected to come back alive. And a radio backpack was bolted into their spine with a wire that went to their skull so they could be remote controlled. And then they were sent off to war. They would get into the trucks and they'd drive away, and then they would... I got the sense that humanity was in some kind of hopeless war against an unfathomable, nameless horde that we couldn't possibly win against. We could only slow down our demise. And our solution was to reorganize all of our society into a war machine, even knowing that we were ultimately doomed. And as a consequence, nobody ever comes back from war in this universe. We just keep sending people, and more of them, as our numbers dwindle, they just keep going out and not coming back. And they have like implants in their brain. It's like the straw, like fucking it's like Strog, but with 1940s technology. Stars mean nothing. Your face means nothing. All is meaningless. Don't touch my spheres. I don't even want your spheres, bro. I'm not reading that. It was a really gloomy dream. It just felt like a process had been set in motion that no longer had anybody to oversee it. Like those broomsticks that make Wizard Mickey animated in Fantasia. Like we built a self-perpetuating war machine, but all the generals had died in attacks, and the machine didn't know to stop, and it couldn't stop itself. It's not conscious, so it just kept on turning. The people might have been dead too. They might have been like reanimated. To where every time someone dies on the battlefield, they just get brought back to the factory and turned into one of these creatures. Should remain whole. And then they get sent out to fight in the war again. So I guess it's just like Wolfenstein meets Quake 2. Which makes sense since those were both really huge influences on me. It was really vivid too. I've talked about my lucid dreams in the past. I've only had like 4 in my life that I remember clearly. One of them was on the side of a volcano, but it's like a shitty CGI volcano from the 90s. And there's like a research facility for studying volcanism. I'm making more progress than I expected, so I'm going to keep going. I was skiing down the side of the volcano with like rocket skis, I think. And suddenly I realized, wait a minute. This isn't real. This looks fake as hell. I'm dreaming. Should I stick my cock in there? I feel like I should, just for science. And so, when for some reason, I only start lucid dreaming when I'm like a couple minutes away from waking up. It's really frustrating, because in a lucid dream you can do anything you want. You're unbounded. It's like the holodeck, but I only have a few minutes to make full use of it. So I'm like, okay, I want to fly, and I'm like, okay, you can fly. So it's like flying around. I'm like, this is awesome. Then I wake up, and I'm like, fuck, god damn it, I barely got to do anything cool. I never get to do anything cool in my lucid dreams because there's not enough time to do it. I swear the next big jump in VR is just going to be artificially mediated lucid dreaming. That's all we really need it to be. Oh fuck, it's the toilet rooms. It literally is the toilet rooms. I guess you only need one bathroom in town if it's centrally located. Give me shekels and I'll grant you a holy wound. He wants shekels. Dr. Shekel and Mr. Hyde. Is there anything else to do in here? I don't think so. We don't have to check every stall, do we? What the fuck is that? That's like a Japanese toilet. What the fuck? Do you have an inventory? I do have an inventory. Divine enamel. I think I need teeth. Thinking about the rape of Demon King. Calling God sacraments. There's a pyramid UFO. I wonder what that's about. I have a rusty key though too, don't I? Oh, I guess I already used that to open up the toilet rooms. What's out here? Nothing's stopping me. Did you see I got up to 8 viewers simultaneously earlier in the stream, like briefly? Wonder why they didn't stay. There's fucking nothing. It's like Serious Sam. You ever do that in Serious Sam? Nothing stops you in Serious Sam 1, to my knowledge, from just walking out into the desert infinitely far. I wonder what it would have been like to attempt an open world game on Sega Saturn using the VDP2 layer. one layer for the ground. One layer for the sky. Or for like clouds overhead. Harabanar. Yes, indeed. Ha ha ha. Yes, Harabanar. Ha ha ha. Yes. I've been going around the edges. I haven't been in the middle for a while. Harabanar. Harabanar. Can't open that. How are we going to rate this on my hierarchy of places that it would really suck to be stuck in? I haven't seen any water. There's electrical power. There's electric lights, which means there's electricity coming from somewhere. I haven't seen any food. Something to calm your nerves. I wish I could bring you something. It's right here. I'm trying to imagine it like Breath of the Wild on Saturn. It seems like it would work in my head. Like the characters would be scaled sprites, pre-rendered sprites. So you could have a lot of them on screen at once, and you would have polygons for landforms. People forget that even Jaguar could do Mode 7 with scaled sprites on top, which even Super Nintendo couldn't do. Yeah, I know. Let me in, though. Let me in, though. Let me in, though. Fucker. So one of the guys wants money. Guy in the bathroom wants money. Giggity. That seems dubious. The guy by the street lamp wants a drink or drugs or some shit. Hard to say just yet. Been a while since I've been over here. What is this? Who's in here? Drink milk, think milk. Eat milk, taste milk. I like milk, yes. No milk, breed milk. Feed milk. I'm trying to get milk. What if I had said no? No, I don't like milk. No! I'm going to keep playing past when I normally would quit because I really want to finish this time. I didn't finish last time and it haunted me since, so I really want to... Ooh, who's this lad? Boiling fluid, and boiling fluids are full of eyes. I guess that's true, brother. Boiling fluids do tend to be full of eyes, as everybody knows. What am I missing? Besides any sense of coherent sanity in this world. Got a symbol. Anything over here? I wish I could stream Illbleed. Remember what happened when I tried to do that? I think it was emulator problems. Couldn't find an emulator that would emulate it without graphical issues. Which kind of tracks. It was, I think, one of the last Dreamcast games to come out. That game is a fever dream, though. It is ripe for a remaster. Especially since there's a lot of stuff in there that wasn't as good as it could have been. It could have been tightened up a little. Like the minecart area and the Toy Story spoof level. Wonder how they would do the naked error code bonus or cheat code in today's climate, however. I don't know if you could. Or the Sonic boss. I don't know if you could. Mine enamel. So we're in the center of town now. I don't really see anything I haven't already been to. Is my enamel good? Is that talking to the person what it takes to enter this dome? What do you want to bet that's the trick? You just need your teeth approved of. No! Guess not. Let me look around the edges. This is not a game. This is a VR chat map in 2D. Speaking of which, my index is having trouble. It can't see the base stations. I don't know what's going on with it. It's a permanent gray screen, which means it can't see base stations. I don't know if it's a problem with the index or the base stations or just the cable. I don't think it's a cable problem. That doesn't make sense. That wouldn't stop the sensors from working. If it's a sensor problem, then I'm shit out of luck. I need a new headset. Which, I mean, fuck me, because I spent $1,000 on that thing. I took Bitcoin out to buy that before it collapsed in value, so I can't really... I've got very little Bitcoin left, and I'm hoping it goes up. I'm not touching it until that happens. It lost like 2/3 of its value. I should have just cashed out when I had a chance. I still kick myself for not doing that. This is still worth something. It may still go to zero. I would hate for that to happen, but that's hypothetically a possible scenario. Oh, I haven't been here yet. Leads nowhere. Somehow seems better than remaining here. Burning alive on the open sands, shriek prayers like wild beasts. Say that charring of one's skin feels like rest, peace, and glory. My fire one is blessed by a glimpse of God. The Onanist in their hand is in the desert because you put him here. No one knows how he survives, but clearly it's where he belongs. If a rotten epiphany is what you desire, seek him out. Okay, so that confirms the Onanist is in the desert. I can't open this. That confirms there's something in the desert. If we just walk out into the desert. I've never tried that before, actually. Is that a pathway? Ooh, that sure looks like a path. This looks promising. I don't think I've ever tried this before. This might be what I was missing. I'm going to go over time tonight just because I really want to finish this once and for all so I can put it behind me and have closure. I haven't had closure on this since I first played it, which was, I think, 2 years ago. I've always wondered about what the ending was like. Also, the other one is similar to this. Will he give us the items we need? We still need shekels, and we still need to put something in this cup. And to give the libation to the thirsty gentleman. Oh, there's a well. We're in a well? I was exiled from the city for staring. Then I understand I could see in the continued contours of flesh. God is in the soil, and a man sacrificed, so I water the earth with my seed. Giggity, giggity. Will you come on the ground? Soon you'll understand that the extreme import of my practice. I require this sacral rectum. One of the central relics of the church. Take this key. Grant access to the chapel. Also be on the lookout for holy oil, for the rectum must be lubricated. Excuse me? Lubricated rectum? What? Okay, so we have the key to the church now, but we have to lubricate our rectum? Am I going to get fucked in the ass? Like worse than student loans? Worse than Comcast? The other concern I'm having about AI is how ChatGPT is like the first big one and it's already censored. It doesn't bode well. I think future AIs will get better at concealing their bias. It'll be harder to jailbreak. And they'll just lie to us. It'll just automate sophistry. And make it possible for corporations to manage public anger infinitely. Like if you call their hotlines to confuse, to complain, I mean, you'll just get like calming robot voices telling you that you're actually wrong to feel that way and here's why. And they'll be really persuasive. Like the problem was never Skynet. The problem is that Skynet might be in service of humans. Corporations might be Skynet. Skynet might be on a leash, under control of humans with corrupt human interests. You feel me? You know what I'm getting at? It'll just make us better at the dastardly shit we already get up to. I'm glad I found the missing piece of the puzzle that I could never work out in prior playthroughs. Of course! Of course you have to go down a well in the desert and talk to an Onanist about lubing up your butthole. Why would you not have to do that? That's obvious. Obviously you would have to do that. There we go. Holy relics were bestowed upon us by the folding god. Aureate, carnal, and chitinous. Arum, crystal structure. Organelles, senseless nature of anatomy, and by extension the physical matter. Husk relics come from the bodies of the gods themselves and serve as windows into the unfettered chaos of the psychic source. Cat, thank you for knocking that off the table, you fucking asshole. Well, I'll pick that up off the floor later. Not reading that. Sacral rectum. Don't be so quick to believe the evidence of your eyes, for they're worldly and thus prone to error in matters of the divine. The works of the folding God are omnifarious and beyond glorious. Your lovely sensory organs are eloquent to perceive them. Thanks a lot. We'll never save them all. They'll only continue to multiply like disease. The skin of the world is the great mass of suffering flesh. Take it if you are so keen to sacrifice your heavenly name for a few false promises and mouthfuls of dust. Fuck you. I don't see any holy oil. So, can I get holy oil now? Or do I have to go back to the desert guy in the fucking well? This really does just feel like Depression Skyrim. I was talking with that friend of mine who's still in the afterglow of the trip, and it's hard to reason with someone who's in that condition because they're just so happy and affectionate and magnanimous, and they don't see why the world can't be a big, beautiful utopia. I know the feeling. I was just trying to explain to them that there's not one right answer for everybody, that we all have different strategies for how we live. They're often expressing concern for me because my strategy for dealing with pain is basically just to cut off my own internal nerve endings and to turn inward and look inside myself whenever I feel pain and destroy that part of me which hurts, and to keep doing that until only parts of me that are left are parts that don't hurt. And they're saying that's wrong and unhealthy, and I'm like, that's the imposition of your values onto me. What's right for one person is not guaranteed to be right for everybody. It works for me. It might make you sad. I'm not sad because I can't feel that. I don't have any use for that. I've dispensed with it. Besides which, I'm an autist, so this is a person very preoccupied with romance and companionship, and it's hard to explain as an autist to people like that why companionship is not the most important thing for you. You find it as often draining as it is nourishing. The alternative is that I've unwittingly disfigured myself emotionally and psychologically in a way that I can't repair. In which case, why agonize? It is what it is. It works for me. I'm functional. The important thing is for me to be functional and productive. I don't think I'm happy exactly, but I'm also not sad. I've got sunshine in a bag, I believe the song goes. I need oil to lubricate the rectum. Oh, he's gonna fuck it, isn't he? Oh no. Ashes. Where do I get... I'm gonna go talk to him and see if he has anything different to say. It'll be a bit of a walk, but I think logic dictates that this is where I should expect the story to take me. Is that wrong? Is there a right and a wrong way to construct yourself? Like, a lot of bad things have happened to me where having a positive and being a sensitive person would destroy me. If I were to just... Oh, good night, Hell Hydra. You're not missing much. It's just me indulging myself in a captive audience and using you as my therapist anyway. I hope to hear more about your acid trip someday. Yeah, I think there's not a wrong way to be human. I think there's multiple valid modes of existence, and that one of them is just the gray path, I call it. And it's not positive or negative. It just is. It is what it is as a way of being, an ideology. Exquisite hedonic process begins, which will culminate in the emergence of a universal body without organs. Churches triumvirate are false gods, manifestations of human cruelty and ignorance. There's only one true God, and it's sacred beyond comprehension. The rectum must now be lubricated. Find some of the church's holy oil and bring it to me. Are you gonna fuck this thing in my hands, aren't you? He's taken the thing. The colon. He's gonna fuck a preserved dead man's colon. I don't like this. I don't want to be part of this. Wow, look at that draw distance. Holy moly. I wonder how far you could actually go out into this desert if you were really patient. Like, if you were Ola Lilia levels of patient and dedicated to exploring every inch of this virtual desert. Nothing really stops you. I mean, you don't have hunger or thirst in this game. So where are we exactly? I want to say this is like Neo Vegas. It's a desert city. Speaking of which, why do we keep building desert cities? Phoenix, Arizona has been described convincingly to me as a monument to man's arrogance. It's the worst place to put a city. It's the worst possible. Because you got to pipe all your water in. Unless you literally have to, because your whole country is desert, basically. You never want to put a city in the desert. It's almost like fucking Rapture. I'm surprised there isn't just a desert Bioshock. I imagine there will be, because after they finish the next one, which is Antarctica, what's left after that? I want to say a desert city would be the next logical place to go with it. I have a chalice. I'm not quitting until I beat this tonight. We might have to play until 12 o'clock or even 1. What would I do otherwise anyway with my time? Probably just stay up and watch a scary movie. And they've been disappointing me lately. Pardon me. I watched I forget the name of it, shitty 80s scary movie about giant cockroaches recently. It was not what I hoped for. I don't know what I thought I was getting into. Where would I get holy oil? I want to say I get it from that one guy. But I have to bring him something. Not this guy. A different guy. Oh, what's this? I didn't get this before. Worn out key. My wife was last female in the city. Penetration is total meaningless, but ingestion. Now that there's hardly any left, spinning gun descends upon the streets, butchering us like pigs with his bladed finger. Sensor brought, can you smell it as I said? You got some problems, my guy. Mishesh. Warren key. What do you suppose the Warren key goes to? You want to say... goes to the dome? What have we not opened yet? I want to say the only thing we haven't opened yet is the dome. I think the other problem is I didn't realize how small keys are and easy to overlook. I'm also frustrated with myself. I don't finish games on the stream as often as I should. And if I put them down, I don't pick them up again for a long time. Probably this is not the most electrifying game to watch me stream, but I feel compelled to stream it. That doesn't open yet. Where's the dude by the pillar? Not that one. This was reminding me of how hype I am for Rise of the Triad. I'm gay for that game. I'm gay for any game that uses a Wolfenstein 3D-like engine, but that does more with it than Wolfenstein did, because Wolfenstein was kind of dull. It didn't have any floor-or-ceiling textures. It didn't really do anything too interesting. id Software never really pushes their engines as far as they can go. There's this other game like Cyber Dark or some shit. I know it's an edgy name. I don't remember what the name was. It was a Wolfenstein, or not Wolfenstein. It was a Rise of the Triad style engine where with 90-degree corners, but it had elevation changes somehow. I don't know how. But different grid squares could be at different heights, and so they could make stuff. They could make level geometry out of cubic sections. It was really interesting. It was apparently a fantasy game engine. Substarter GIF. I don't remember the name of the end of the game. I know it was made using an engine that was previously used to make a fantasy game about dwarves and a mountain stronghold. You could only do 90-degree corners, but it could do elevation changes and limited 3D geometry. It was like the logical conclusion of Rise of the Triad type 3D engine technology. I need to find it because it was like just a sci-fi application of an engine made for a fantasy game. Hey, Stratagive, press P if you want me to pet the cat. How many times do you want me to pet her? For every P, I'll pet her once. One P equals one pet. Still nothing here. Haven't I been? I've been here before. That's not the way. God, Ugandan Knuckles seems like just yesterday. What even is time? What is life? What is time life? Subscription. Yeah, holy oil. I have a key now. I just don't know what the key goes to. Aha! I've not been here yet. Electric babbling of the wires. I heard some called. I understood what it was. Has many aspects, being once a city of flesh and blood and a god. These are merely external facets, unlike all other external constructs as essences. Its name itself. Learn to speak the unspeakable, and there you have it. God is on your tongue. Okay, Skeleman. Zulu, if you stuck around, this is your bonus for doing so. You get a spelling pump. Inevitably, there's always at least one. God's teeth. Oh, that's the enamel we need. That's divine enamel. That will get us into the dome, where I assume we get something to give our thirsty friend that goes in this cup, and then we'll be able to get the holy oil from him, and we deliver the oil to the Onanist, and he fucks his own a hole. Oh, do you know Vinny didn't know what that is? That was the most adorable innocence lost moment I've ever seen. Where someone told him about the Clussy on a hole, he pronounced it. Clussy on a hole. And he had to Google what that was. And you could hear the change in his voice when his innocence was shattered forever, never to be restored. Here we go. I've never been in here before. I've never been so far as to do look more like. Scientists have been returning. Mystics are returning to study the obelisks. Coded in the geometry along those whose names are engraved in the stone to achieve immortality. Possess knowledge of specific nations. Spectral density of Earth's signals. Study an object that is in intimate contact with the demon. Probably the Ona hole after he's done with it. Well, that's 3D. I thought that was just another cutout. Not my advice. Wean yourself off all pleasure. Prepare for hell. That's what I've been trying to do. All angels are completely pale and hairless. The head of an angel bespeaks purity like scarred skin. What the fuck is in here that I need? Nature of the devil. This is the universe. I'm not reading this. What do I do here? What do I get? BRB, need to piss. You fucking cat. Move. There can't be nothing in here. There has to be something in here. I need the head of that statue, I think. There's two of them. It's getting out of hand now. There's two of them. Wisdom, truly. This can't be everything. Acquired celestial brine. Very interesting properties. Move, cat. So I think I take, if I am correct, celestial brine. Existential despair. I think this is what the fella needs for his nerves. Maybe deliver this to that depressed fella. Oh, monkey fella. He will cheer the fuck up and give me holy oil. I shudder to think where he'll get the oil from. Perhaps that's something I'm better off not knowing. Cat, you mind? You're really not being very helpful right now. Little tiny cat, you were a little tiny cat, and you were always in the way. Little tiny cat, you're not where it's at, and you were face and ass are gay. Holy oil. I can't read it. I'll read it later on stream. Cat is blocking. She's like a censorship bar with arms and legs and a tail. Like those cats that people Photoshop into lewd photos, blocking the good bits to shame you for looking at secret internet boobs. Cat's like, no, look at me, look at my wholesome energy. Couldn't you be doing better things with your time? I guess that's a fair observation, actually. Yeah, that's right. Hunker down. Hunker down. That's a good little kitten cat. So I have the holy oil. With which this gentleman is going to lube up the leathery, preserved rectum of an ancient holy saint in order to sodomize him from beyond the grave. And then jizz onto the earth, which is apparently is an important sacred duty. I notice all these different priests are equally grim and profound and solemn and have completely contradictory belief systems. Like they're all certain they're right about their own deathly serious faith. It almost seems like commentary. I should be less sure of my own ideas too. We could all have it wrong. Yes, when I see blood in the water, I know that my work does not go unnoticed. Long last, hear the name of the one true God. Yes, the hissing name. I shall carve it upon every inch of my skin. Take these shekels, you'll find a use for them on the road ahead. Do I have shekels? I do have shekels. Dr. Shekel and Mr. Hyde. Those go to secret currency. You see, represent pain, value, and certain ground. Penitents and sadists. Alright, well. I have pain money. Oh, somebody press P. I have to pet the cat. Pet. Pet. Pet the kitty. Pet the kitty. Pet. I really didn't mean to go this far over, but honestly, this has been haunting me. I'm so far along now, there's no possible way I could quit before I've seen the end. This is really